Yo, what's up guys? All around the Fortnite community, it's believed that every Fortnite chapter contains 10 seasons, but after a new theory that's been floating around recently, that might not actually be the case. This theory points to Chapter 2 Season 8 of Fortnite possibly being the last season of this chapter, so make sure you stick around to the end so you don't miss any of these exciting new details. Now, even though this theory might sound absolutely crazy, there are a lot of things and proof that is pointing directly towards this being the case. If you actually look, Season 8 and the number 8 turned on its side actually equals infinity. Now, if you guys remember back in Season 10, they actually changed it from Season 10 to Season X, you know, just kind of to make it a little bit more interesting, make it a bit more dramatic, and I could definitely see them doing that with Season 8 and calling it Season Infinity. Now, does this necessarily mean that we'll be stuck in Season 8 forever? I honestly highly doubt that. A lot of people were thinking that that would be the case if it was called Season Infinity, but I highly doubt that they would do that, especially since Epic Games just moved everyone that was working on Save the World over to Battle Royale so that they could put more content into that side of the game. And pointing back directly to Season X, if you guys remember, slowly throughout Chapter 1, the island slowly started moving towards chaos, with more and more people every season trying to obtain the power of the 0 point. If you guys notice, over Chapter 2, it has also had that same sort of curve upwards in terms of chaos, with everybody trying to obtain the 0 point, it getting destroyed, getting exposed over and over and over again. And that is happening more and more, and it seems like the most chaos is going on right now in Season 7 with this new alien abduction. The biggest thing that points directly towards Season 8 being the last season of this chapter is the amount of days that each chapter lasted. If you guys don't know, Chapter 1 lasted exactly 747 days, and if you guys look this up right now, Chapter 2 after Season 8 will have been almost the exact same amount of days, around 740 days. So this could either be on purpose or this could be an accident, because if you guys remember, Season 1 and 2 of Chapter 2 were both of the longest seasons ever in the history of Fortnite, both combining for about 300 days. Now, let's just say that both of those two seasons were completely unplanned and they were not planned at all to be that long. That would mean that the amount of days of each chapter does not affect when the chapter ends. So this could either mean that they go based on the amount of days that each chapter is, or they go with the amount of seasons. And right now, it's honestly mostly looking like they're going based on the days, but we will have to see. Remember guys, take this with a grain of salt because all of this is just a theory. Like I've mentioned multiple times throughout this video, we are going to be pointing back to Chapter 1 because Chapter 2 is a mirrored version or alternate universe of Chapter 1. So a lot of this points to Chapter 1, Season 9, and Season X, so I will be mentioning that a lot throughout this video. So like you guys saw in the trailer, if you did watch the Season 7 trailer, the big giant mothership does come out from the sky or come over from the horizon and somehow kind of abducts or destroys the 0 point. We're not 100% what exactly happened to the 0 point, but for the sake of this video guys, we're gonna go ahead and say that the aliens are using the 0 point as some sort of power source, as I see that being the most likely scenario. Now, exactly what the aliens are here for, that is a bit more unclear, a bit more foggy around the community. A lot of people are saying that they're here just to take over the island, and also that they're here so they can have control of the 0 point. Because if you guys don't know, it's very clear that the 0 point is a very sought after thing in the universe of Fortnite. It literally powers the entire universe, and that's why Galactus in Season 4 wanted it, and that's why all of these people throughout Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 have went to extreme lengths to capture and obtain the 0 point, even with the Ice King in Season 7 using the monster as a last resort to obtain the 0 point. Also in the trailer guys, we did see the Foundation get shot out of the 0 point, because if you remember, in Season 6, the Foundation was trapped inside of the 0 point, containing it so that the 0 point would not get any more unstable than it already was. And just like the Visitor from Season X, his only objective was to keep balance on the island by restoring and keeping the 0 point stable. Now, if you guys really think about it, the dude's name is the Foundation. He's literally the guy who holds everything in the Fortnite universe together, and if he gets mad, which I'm assuming that he probably will be, that is probably going to cause so much chaos on the island. Like I said before, mentioning that slow curve of chaos throughout the chapter. And then that leads us into our next question. Will there be an event this season? honestly, I don't really see there being an event this season. That's simply because it doesn't really seem like it's leading up to anything. We know that the mothership has slowly been moving and revolving around the map. If you guys don't know that, every couple of days, or every day actually, the shadow of where the mothership is does move around the map, and it is now closer to Coral Castle, and it has been leaked even before the season started that the mothership could possibly destroy Coral Castle, which is what it's looking like it's probably going to be doing soon. Now, an event next season, if Season 8 does happen to be the last season of Chapter 2, there will 100% be an event in Season 8. It could possibly be another black hole, another shutdown for a couple of days. We have absolutely no clue. And since we haven't had a normal, traditional one-time live event in Fortnite in the last maybe like 3 seasons, 2 to 3 seasons, that gives Epic Games plenty of time to build a massive event and prepare for this massive chapter ending event. So if, like I said, if Season 8 does happen to be the last season of Chapter 2, we will definitely see a huge event that season. Now, in terms of the Battle Pass, this is kind of my theory on what the Battle Pass would look like if Season 8 happened to be the last. Now, if you guys remember in Season X, if you were playing the game, we got a mashup of a bunch of different characters, such as the Sparkle Specialist, the Black Knight, etc. If next season is the last season of this chapter, I can definitely see them doing kind of the same thing if it involves a sort of time travel. Because in Season X, that sort of theme was kind of like time travel, stuck in a loop, and time and space being completely messed up because of the 0 point. I'm not sure if that's kind of what it's leaning towards this chapter. It doesn't look like that, but this is just a theory. So we could see mashups of maybe Remedy, we could see mashups of maybe Fusion from the Season 1, maybe Midas, and tons of other skins, a bunch of OG Chapter 2 skins from the first couple of battle passes. In terms of what the map could look like, this is probably one of the most exciting things to think about, because if you guys remember, in Season X was probably the most map changes we've ever gotten in a season with the Rift Zones. If you remember, Tilted Towers changed about 3 times, we got Greasy Grove back, we got so many different mashups of different games and different collabs. It was awesome. That was the first time we ever really saw tons of collabs being added to the world of Fortnite, and it turning into this sort of giant metaverse. So we could see something like that in the last season of Fortnite, but I highly doubt that, because with the way that this chapter is going, it's really not following the same sort of timeline as Chapter 1 did, where it being involved with time travel, space, rips in space and time, and rifts and things like that. So I doubt that we would see something like that, but it could be something very, very similar, and that leads us into possible old locations return. Now, if you guys have been in the mothership that is in the air, right in the sky in Fortnite, that is absolutely like decimating the map right now in terms of covering it up, if you go inside of there, we are getting a little bit of taste of old Chapter 1 locations. There's a little bit of a taste of Lucky Landing and Sunny Steps, I believe. So that could just be hinting to what we could be seeing in Season 8 if it is the last season. And on top of that, in the teaser image for Season 8, we did see a little city that they were near that very much resembled Tilted Towers, like the very, very original Tilted Towers. Now, a lot of people thought that this would be added around the half point of the season, but in the files and nowhere in the game have we seen any hints of Tilted Towers coming back at any point this season. So we still have no clue what Epic Games plans to do with that, but it is very likely that it could still happen. And I just have to say this just in case people freak out in my comments section. This does not mean that we could get another overpowered thing like the mechs. I'm hoping that Epic Games learns their lesson and doesn't add things as overpowered as that, because Season X, whether people like it or not, was the beginning of the downfall of players in Fortnite. And like I said, guys, this would eventually lead us into Chapter 3, whether it's another black hole, another shutdown of Fortnite, and it also would bring a new map, new features, and a bunch of cool things to play around with. I have a video coming out later talking about some new leaks that just came out about Season 8, so make sure you guys stick around for that. That's all I have for today's video. Let me know your guys' theories down below in the comments, and I'll respond to them. I love to have conversations with you guys. So thank you all so much. If you watched to the end, you are a GOAT, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.